We're on the edge of a global catastrophic disaster. Human conflict, nuclear bombs, natural disasters, chemical and biological warfare. Without warning, the world as we know it can come to an end.
8 weeks ago, a group of volunteers entered a 10-week experiment to see if they can survive and rebuild after a simulated viral outbreak leaves Los Angeles and the rest of the planet devastated. Their new home, a cordoned-off 80,000 square foot warehouse near downtown Los Angeles. They started with no electricity, no water,
nothing,
and no communication with the outside world.
They're not broadcasting, they're just transmitting.
As part of the experiment, an outside gang of looters and thugs challenged the colonists' resources and security. So far, the colonists have scraped by on limited supplies.
I'm sick of this warehouse. I'm sick of the lack of food.
But with stocks running dry,
I think I've gone through every bit of body fat that I have.
the competition for resources is becoming a fight for survival.
Get out!
Now they focus all efforts on their escape plan.
We got to get the hell out of here.
And old foes push them to the breaking point.
This is hell! This is the end of the world! Fight back!
Conditions here are grim. Bathrooms are filthy, clothes are in rags. We need to get out of here.
We all stink. It's just disgusting. Our hair is greasy and oily and matted, and our skin is just like different colors, you know. Like sleeping in dirt is just not something I ever thought I would have to do. It's hard. When I'm dreaming, and I see myself, I'm dirty.
With food storage down to a 5-day supply, the colonists are exhausted and withering away.
We're being tested morally and physically and emotionally. No matter how happy of a family we are, there's going to be times where we break.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I cannot work today on a cup of rice. I cannot. I've got beams to lift and weld, and putting in a 12-hour day on a cup of rice isn't gonna work for me.
18 gallons left. Even with rationing, that was our average for one day. We're all conserving. We're not drinking as much. We're not washing anything. Clothes, hands, we're licking our dishes clean. So we've got to make this stretch as long as possible. Second to our physical security, this is our biggest concern right now.
With water at critically low levels, the colonists prepare an expedition to the LA River using the solar-powered trike they built last week.
If we have to, we'll try to make 2 runs, but let's get one. One we're desperate for.
Bring us back some sustenance.
Awesome. Don't lose the bike.
What?
The colonists' access point to the LA River is blocked off by an encampment of marauders.
No water means you can't cook, you can't drink, you can't wash. Without water, we can't survive. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, no river runs.
I didn't get
No water?
no water.
What happened?
Marauders are all camped out down there. 6, 10, more than we can handle.
Anyone who wants water's got to get through them.
Basically, it means we have what we have. We need to get this truck done, ration our water.
Bottom line, that's it.
That's it, man.
That's it.
That's it. We're screwed. We're screwed. No more water.
We're not screwed. It means we get to work.
4 weeks ago, the colonists drew up a plan for turning an abandoned truck into their escape vehicle.
It's got to look scary, and it's got to be able to take somebody out if you really need to.
What if we had something protruding out, kind of like spears like on a pole?
So far, they've gotten the engine running and armored the back. What they don't know yet is that within the next week, they'll receive coordinates for their final destination. But there's still a great deal of work before the truck is ready to roll. The biggest challenge, fuel.
First thing I guess we have to put up there is gasifier. It's the most important part of getting us out of here. The gasifier is probably our best bet for an alternative fuel.
Before the colonists had solar panels, they relied on a wood gasifier to power their generator and charge the battery bank. The gasifier consisted of 2 barrels, one filled with wood scraps and one with a fire that heated the wood, releasing the gas. Now the colonists are banking on a bigger gasifier to fuel their escape vehicle.
After a disaster, fuel supply is a critical issue. In the 2005 hurricane season in the Gulf Coast, it only took days before there were shortages of fuel. If your automobile ran on alternative fuel sources such as wood gas, you'd have a tremendous advantage.
Here's another option, kids. I mean, we have the truck, but we have other vehicles. That Ranchero, I think I can get it to run. That leaves us a lot more room and weight that we can put on the truck. The Ranchero gives us secondary transportation, mobility, power, all sorts of options. It's a great vehicle to have.
While Mike and John V inspect the Ranchero's engine, Vlad and John C start work on the new gasifier.
There we go. Now let's roll this one. This piece is the spout for the gasifier.
Where the Brennenstoff goes in. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it up here.
There we go.
The truck's gasifier will be composed of 3 main parts.
It pops.
First, the upper container consisting of a hopper, chimney, and screen. This will house the wood charcoal for the wood gas. Second, a lower container that will hold the fire that heats the wood and creates the gas. And third, a cooling system that will lower the gas's temperature before funneling it into the engine. At the drill press, John C. fashions the screen with his wife Diane. Last week, John was reunited with Diane after being apart 8 weeks.
Having Diane here is such a blessing. She is one of the most selfless and grounded people I've ever known. We work very well together. Shake that stuff up. So this is the fire grate at the bottom of the gasifier. What this will do is it'll hang at the bottom of the tube that Vladimir and I just made. And the burning charcoal will sit in this grate, and the engine, the vacuum from the engine will pull the air through those burning embers and take the gases that we're trying to capture, the gas from the charcoal, into the tube that goes into the cooler, which goes into the engine.
John loves discussing things and playing often back and forth with ideas, so he is in his element.
That looks great. Nobody thinks that's funny except me.
It looks very good. I'm going to do a 2-inch opening for the gases, for the suction. At the rate that we're going, Murphy's not around. It looks like we
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
If the truck is going to run reliably on wood gas, the engine must be in good condition. To test it out, they'll use a small portion of their precious gasoline supply.
Okay, everybody clear out. I'm gonna let us start this thing, let it run for a little bit.
Oh, it's smoking.
That's burned oil, man. That's no good for you.
When an engine sits unused for a long time, the internal components rust. Lubricated surfaces dry out and the oil accumulates dirt. In a sense, it needs a new break-in period to seat the piston rings and wear the rust from all the contacting surfaces. The first time you run it, you're bound to get a little smoke.
The truck is ready.